Welcome to this video. We want to show you how you can take trades like this. All right, trades like this indicate the time zone, which I have shown you how to set it. So DST is trading on Brazilian time zone of UST -3. So make sure that the first thing you have to do before you start taking signals is to click on the setting icon below here. All right, and make sure that your time zone is in UTC -3.00. You can see it here. That is where I am right now. All right, select, look at that is where I am right now. That is all you need to make sure of, and you go back to trade. All right, so that one does not change. All right, you only change it if you see something else here, but it's always the same thing, constant. All right, the second one says that it is 5 minutes, not 1 minute, 5 minutes expiry, and the currency pair is Euro USD. All right, so Euro USD, I'm going to say Euro US, all right, USD OTC. So you select your currency pair. All right, now how do you read the time? It says 19:15 call, right? It means that now you will see that there is a time interval of 5. This is 19:15. You click up at exactly 19:15. Where do you see your time? You see your time at the top here. All right, it is here, or unfortunately we have entered into 20. That thing you are seeing there is just a sample signal, right? So you can see this thing here that is reading is where you see your time. Okay, so at 19:15 you pick up, and the trade will run from 19:15 to 19:20. That is why it is 5 minutes expiry. All right, so once the trade starts, it will run from 19:15 to 19:20, and the trade should end. Now the first girl is 19 time to 19:25. It means it will run that the first girl trade will run from 19:20 to 19:25, which is another 5 minutes. But to take the first girl, you must have lost. It means you are losing in the main trade. Okay, so once you see that you are losing, you get prepared for the first girl. The girl trade, you open it with double the amount you started with. So let's say you started with $10, all right, and you are losing. You clicked up and you discover that by the time it is 19:20, it's going towards 19:20, that it is still very, very much down. It is not even up. So you prepare for the first girl, and at exactly 19:20, when the time for the first trade is ending, you click up again. Remember, the same direction, the same currency pair. You click up again, and that trade will run from 19:20 to 19:25 with double the amount you used in the main trade. Okay, now if you are still losing the first girl, all right, the first girl should end by 19:25. So if you are losing, you have to also get prepared by doubling the amount you started the first girl with. So you began with $10. In the first girl, you increase it to $20. All right, now in the second girl, you have to increase it to $40. Okay, and you should click up at exactly 19:25, so that the trade will run from 19:25 to 19:30. Okay, so I'm going to put another sample signal to show you, to demonstrate to you how exactly you pick these particular signals, in quotes real time. Okay, let's go. So here is an example of a signal. All right, and we're going to take this signal now for you to learn how to do it. So you already know here from the top here that the time zone is UTC -3, and I've said this one, you just set it once from your setting. That's all. You don't have to keep doing this over and over again, except when you see that the UTC -3 has changed. All right, but DST currently is trading on UTC -3 Brazilian time. All right, so you can see that the expiry minutes, it is 5 minutes expiry. All right, the currency pair is USD/TRY OTC. All right, and the entry point for this trade is at 20:15. All right, so at 20:15, you click up, which is the green button, is called call. All right, or if it is put, then it will be red, which is down, but this is a call, it is up, the green button. Okay, so because it is 5 minute expiry, this trade is going to run from 2015 to 2020. That is 5 minutes. All right. And why this trade is running, if the trade goes against you, you have to start preparing for the first girl, which will run from 2020 to 2025. You can see the time to is 2025, which is, that means that the ending of the first trade is the beginning of the first girl. All right. So the first girl, we are going to click on the up button again. If you are losing, you double the amount you used to start the trade, and then you click up again. Immediately this first trade is ending by 2020. At exactly 2020, the moment the trade ends, you click up again, and the first girl trade will run till 2025. All right. And if you still lost in the first girl, you can now run the trade from the ending of 2025, which is the beginning of the second girl, and it will run from 2025 to 2030. All right. So let's select our time. So look at how you see your time. You can see now the time here is 2014 and seconds. So I'm going to quickly select USD try. All right. USD try. All right. So I'm just going to, instead of going to the time and doing all of that, I'm going to select timer. All right, and put it at 5 minutes. So at exactly, look at the time at the top here. At exactly 2015, I'm going to click up. All right. At exactly 2015, I'm going to click up. That's it. Yeah, and that's it. So that's up now. So if I open this, you're going to see that this trade is running now for 4 minutes and is decreasing to towards 1. It is 5 minutes. Okay, this is just the way to take the trade. Forget about the one that you have to go to time and set all of this will waste you time. Just put your timer at 5 minutes. All right, put your timer at 5 minutes and take the trade. You can see we took the trade as 2015, which is the entry point. Look at it here. 2015 is the entry point. So this trade should end at exactly 2020. And if I am losing the trade at 2020, I have to click the up again, and it will run. That will start the first girl, which runs to 2025. And if I still lost in the first girl, if I see that I'm losing in the first girl, I have to prepare. If I don't even wait till you see you are losing, so prepare for the first girl. All right. So even though we are winning this trade now, how do I prepare for the second girl? All right. I know that the second girl is going to come at the end. It's going to begin at the end of the current trade. So I'm going to double the amount. I'll just wait. All right. $200. I'm just going to wait. All right. I'm just going to wait. Remember, your time remains 5 minutes and it's still up. You are going to click. So here, once you have done this, the only thing you have to change is to double the amount for the first girl. But as you can see, we are actually winning this particular trade. We are actually winning it. All right. But even if I win it, I'm going to show you exactly. Now look at the time. All right. The time here is now 2016 to 45 seconds. Okay. The moment it is 2020, if you are losing, all right, if you are losing in the main trade, you have to enter the girl one. All right. So you can see that girl one is to 2025, which means it's going to start from this 2020, which is the ending of the first trade, and run till 2025. And as the girl one trade is running, if you are still losing, you have to get prepared to click up again at exactly 2025, which will now make the girl 2 trade to run from 2025 to 2030. So this is why it is 5 minutes. Okay. So at 2020 now, I'm going to click on the first girl, whether I'm losing it or not. Okay. I just want to make you understand how it works. Okay. So obviously this trade is going in our favor. It's going in our favor. So I'm going to pause the video here and come back when it is a few minutes to go. All right, as you can see, we are just 42 seconds to go, and you can see we are actually, this trade is actually against us. All right, so I've already prepared for the first girl by doubling my amount, which is $200, and my time is still 5 minutes. So look at the time here, it is now 19:34. So the moment the first trade is ending, I'm going to start up the second trade. Sorry for that. All right, so that is it. Now we're going to wait for it. Look at it. We just have just 50 seconds to go, and the trade is still against us. And of course, you can see we have, as the time is counting now, it's going to 2020. All right, so that's it. That's the trade they end. We lost. That's at 2020. We click up again. You can see that immediately I clicked up, the first trade has ended, which we actually lost. All right. But now I doubled the amount I used to open the second trade. You can see the first one here is $100. It is lost. All right. But now here is the second trade, which is $200. Now look at it. $200, and if this trade goes in my favor, I'm going to get $368. That is an extra $168. I don't know if you understand. That means if I win in the first girl, I have recovered the $100 that I lost in the main trade, and I have gained an extra trade, an extra of $68 profit. All right. So as the first girl trade is going on now. Remember, the first girl trade will end at 2025. All right, we started it at 2020 when the first trade ended, and is running to 2025. So at 2025, all right, when the first girl trade will be ending, if we are losing, we have to start the second girl, which will run from 2025 to 2030. All right, so take note that the ending of the previous trade is always the beginning of the next one. All right, so the ending of the main trade, which is 2020, is when we're going to click for girl one, which will run to 2025. And because girl one is ending at 2025, it becomes the beginning for girl two, which will run from 2025 to 2030. Let's go back and see how our trade is doing. The trade is still against us, so I have to prepare by doubling my amount to $400. All right, to $400. You can see it is obviously going against us. All right, so I have prepared now by simply doubling my amount to $400. So I'm going to keep my eyes on the time up here. The moment it is 2025, I click up again. Remember, our time has remained 5 minutes, and the currency pair is still the same, and it is still the same direction we are clicking up. That is one thing with the martingale type of signal. All right, so let us wait for this now, and I'm going to pause the video again, and when we are just a few seconds to go, if you are still losing, you will see, and I'm going to take the second girl. So we are 1 minute to go in the first girl trade, and we can see that the trade is still going against us because our moving indicator is still way below where where we want it to go up. All right, so we have already prepared for the second girl with double the amount we used for the first girl. So take note that in the main trade we lost $100. In the first girl we lost $200. All right, that is $300. But you can see that with $400 here, I'm going to get $756. All right, which is a gain of 356 because it is adding up the 400 plus. Now, if you might not sell 400 and 756, all right, our main girl trade is already finishing. And remember, we have to pick it at exactly 2025. All right, we click up again. All right, so that's it. We lost the first girl trade. You can see it here now that we picked the second girl at the time the first girl ended, which is 2025, and is now going to run till 2030. All right, and I am hopeful that we are going to win this one. All right, so I was saying something that in the main trade we lost $100, as you can see here, and in the first girl we lost $200, which is $300. All right, but because I keep doubling the amount, if I win this particular last girl, I'm going to gain $356 as profit, which covers the $300 we have lost in the main trade and the first girl, and we have an additional profit of $56. That means in this whole trade I will still make $56 as profit if this ends up well. So I'm hopeful it's going to end up well. So let us wait until the trade finishes. Okay, I'm going to pause the video again and come back when we are just a few seconds or 1 minute to go. So as you can see, we are just few seconds to go, and you can see that in the second girl we are winning, and in less than 5 seconds we are going to win this trade. All right, let's wait for it. All right, and that is it. We just won the trade in the second girl, and that is $356 made. All right, now you have seen that we lost $100 in the first girl. We doubled it. Sorry, we lost $100 in the main trade and lost $200 because we doubled it for the first girl, which is making it $300 loss. All right, and then in the next girl we made it $400. We doubled it again, which is making it $400. And now with $400 we gained $356, and that way we still made a profit of $56. In fact, in the second girl it was supposed to be 600, not 400. Okay, because the double of 100. Okay, all right, yeah, we are right. The double of 100 is 200, and the double of 200 is 400, so it's actually 400. So you can see that because we were able to be patient enough to trade to the second girl, we recovered our money and still made profit of $56. So you can see that this system, you will need patience, you will need to follow the system. But here is the advice I give you. If you can see that if you lose in this particular type of trading section, you will lose a lot of money. So you can imagine if I lost the main trade, lost the first girl, and lost the second girl, that means I will be losing a whole of $700. All right, so that is why I advise that you only double like that if you have enough funds. So I strictly advise that if your account balance is from $10 to $20, please trade with only $1. Start your trade with $1. All right, so that start your trade with $1, and so that if you lose in the main trade and you double it to $2, that will be $3. All right, that will be $3 loss. And if you double it again to $4, that will be now 4 plus 2 plus 1, which is $7. Okay, but I will advise that if your account is from 100 to $20, sorry, from $10 to $20, please always use $1 to start. And in fact, if possible, use the same $1. Don't double it for the first girl. Use the same $1 for the first girl, and use the same $1 for your second girl. If your account is between $10 to $20, let me make it $30. If your account is between $10 to $30, please use $1 or $2. If your account is between $10, please just use $1 to trade. Don't double. All right, don't double. Take the girls, but don't double. All right, if it is in $20, you can double by using one and then 2. You can use 1 in the main trade, use 1 in the first girl, and then double it in the second girl. All right, that is the system, so that you will not be losing money if your account balance is small. All right, but nevertheless, if you found something like $50, $100, that's why I always advise that if you want to do forex trading like this or binary options like this, you need to have fund. All right, you need to be able to bring out money, so that if you have $50, it will be easier for you to trade with these girls and make more profit, so that even if you lose money, you will still have money remaining for you to recover the money you have lost and still make profit on top. All right, so this is how it works. All right, another thing you can do is that, since you see that the trades are always entering into girls, it means that you lost the first one. Right, it means you lost the first one, because for a trade to enter into girl 1, it means you lost the main trade. So if you observe that the trades you open are always leading you into girls, the smart move is to go the opposite direction in the main trade. All right, because if you went the opposite direction in the main trade, you must have won. All right, because for you to get into the girl, it means you lost with the option that you were given. Let's say you are told to put up, and you put up. If your trade always gets into girl, it means you must lose the first trade to get to girl 1. So if you discover your trade is always getting into the girls, the smart move I personally use is to always go against the trade. All right, if they tell me up, I will do all the configuration, but I will now say down. All right, so that if actually the trade enters into girl, that means I have won the trade because I went the opposite direction. But whenever there is a direct win, I lose. All right, and whenever there is a loss, a total loss in the first girl, second girl, I still won the trade. So that's just a smart move. But I believe that this has helped you to understand how to take the trades. Don't bother about the one they used to do like this and configure all this time. No, it's just the same thing. All right, use your timer, use your normal timer, select 5 minutes. All right, not 5 seconds. Please take note that this is 5 seconds at the top. The one that is 5 minutes is the one here. All right, select 5 minutes, and once you select 5 minutes, pick the trade at the entry point. All right, and the ending of the last trade is always the beginning of the first girl, and the ending of the first girl is always the beginning of the second girl. And remember to double your amount for the first girl and double it for the second girl, only and only if you have enough fund in your account. If not, use the same amount to trade the to make, to open all the trades, so that if you lost in all, you will not lose so much money. All right, God bless you.